Oh man, that opening bass riff line, holy shit, that really got me. Yeah, we're doing some Rancid today, y'all. You'll see why with our guest. And you know, this is gonna be the last installment of season 1 of VLV's With Poster, a self-referential, self-deprecating, self-ironic, self-aware podcast. It's over 140 degrees and I can't take it down here in these tunnels anymore. I'm gonna make a journey to the surface, see what's out there is for me. If you're listening to this voice, it is the end of January 2023, and we're all struggling for hope in this dystopian future that we're living in. We don't know if it's there. It's just a facsimile, an illusion, a shadow behind every corner. But we're reaching and searching. I won't keep you today. We'll get right into the talking, the two people talking segment. Myself and Servo. And a surprise guest. You'll just have to see. Without further ado, let's get it on.
Hold on.
What's up? Yeah, if you need to grab something, you're good.
No, I think my cat is turning off the computer. You might be losing me. I can't see anything anymore. I can still hear you though.
Oh, weird. No, I can see you and hear you.
Huh.
Are you shutting? Is it shutting down?
I don't think so. Just the monitor turned off. I've got this cat. Well, it's my roommate's cat, but it likes to lay on the power function of the fucking bullshit.
Cool cat. They like to get into stuff. Well, if you get disconnected for whatever reason, it's no big deal. You could just reboot and hop back in.
I guess all that's going on is my monitor is off and I can't see you, which is a little jarring. Give me one second to get my roommate. It's her computer. She'll fix this. Sorry for the delay.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm having a technical issue. Well, like everything's still running except the monitors.
Something ruins everything.
No, that cat sucks. So I'm like still in this video chat, but nothing's happening on these monitors. Hey, all right.
You good?
Can you?
No, I lost video of you though.
All right, let me try and bring that back.
It's that button right there.
It's this button right here.
Okay, fine.
I have no idea what I'm doing. We're back. All right.
We're back, baby. All right. Well, yeah, let's dig into this.
All right.
Let's see. Let's welcome Servo to the program. The final episode of season 1 that I just determined yesterday. I just made it
that
up.
sounds really arbitrary.
Yeah, it is. Just
hey, congratulations on first season.
Oh,
how many episodes have you done? I haven't really been following this. I read the thread, but I'm not a big podcast guy because I don't like listening to other people talk.
That's okay. It's only like 3.5 hours per episode, so it's not that much talking. It's been going good, man. For the like 20 or 30 people that this is relevant for, I've gotten good feedback, and it's been fun for me just to like talk to folks from the board.
Everyone I've talked to about it who has watched and listened, the one thing that always comes up is it gets compared to the Dick Cavett show a lot. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but that's what everyone's been saying. This podcast is truly the Dick Cavett show of our times.
Oh wow! Well, I'll have to research who that is to know if I should take that as a compliment or not.
I think multiple people have said this, and I'm not making this up at all. And I think it's meant to be complimentary. So
okay, cool. Well, right on.
All right, VLV Podcast. Let's.
yeah. So Servo, wow, somebody already wants to call in. That's a great way to start this. Let's just do that.
Okay, who do we? No way.
Oh, whoa. What's
up, Nog?
What's going on?
We got Nog on the line.
Oh my God, I love your Rancid tattoo. I definitely took an hour out of my life this morning to listen to a double LP of Life Won't Wait. It was
why did you mention that album? It's still so bad.
Nah, I hated it so much when it came out, but like
I know it's like G.E. Smith and the Saturday Night Live band meets fucking the shitty ska wannabe. I don't know. It's just I've never come around to it.
It's really good. It's like maybe my favorite Rancid record.
I mean, maybe I'll keep trying it. It's kind of like Bark Like a Dog when it came out. Like I was so pumped for Bark Like a Dog. And it was just like the biggest letdown. But now, it's 25 years later, and it finally like hit me like 3 years ago. It's like, okay, I like Bark Like a Dog now. It's my new cutoff point, but it's a weak album.
And you cut off at Bark Like a Dog. You don't go one further with Television City Dream. That record's fucking excellent.
I used to have that emo and whatever else after that. I mean, I had a bunch of them, but I would say my final cutoff point is Bark Like a Dog.
Blimp, do you have any Screeching Weasel takes?
Yeah.
Before we get off the subject.
Yeah.
No. All my takes on Screeching Weasel will have to be provided by you guys.
Were you at? Hang on, didn't the show happen in Texas where he punched the woman?
That was in Austin.
Yeah.
Are you still in Austin?
Yeah, I am. When did get punched at a Screeching Weasel show here?
This would have been like 2011, I want to say.
Oh,
Ben
probably
Weasel
earlier.
punched a woman.
That's like right when I moved here, or 2010, I think. Damn. As a non-Rancid listener, where should I jump into Rancid though?
First 5 albums are all really good.
They all rip.
I'd say first 3 and then 5th.
Okay. No love
Life
for
Won't Wait is very controversial.
It is. I know a lot of people that love it. Maybe I'll come around to it one day, but the second and third will always be my go-tos. They're etched in my brain.
Sick. What are some other I was going to talk about pop punk at some point in this interview, but we can go ahead and talk about it now since we're talking Rancid.
Shout out to Blue in that shirt, dude.
Shout out
Blue shirt.
Oh yeah, shout out. Which is what Dick's the best VLV band of all time.
Is that a band Glue is in?
Yeah. There was. I don't even. No one ever knows if Witches with Dicks is still a band at any given moment. That's like one of the best parts about them. No one fucking knows.
Damn.
You won't think about them for 8 years and they'll be like, oh, Witches with Dicks played a show.
Shit. We're going to get them on this program.
You should. Has anyone said no? Has anyone been like, no, I don't want to be on this podcast? That sounds fucking stupid.
Well, Glue actually sort of said that, but no, he wasn't. It was more like he was like really sketched out at first. He was like the first person I asked, I think.
I wonder
And
if maybe I can goad him into it. I'll text him right now.
And I think he was just overwhelmed. I think he was just like he was worried about work, people finding out about him or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that's not gonna happen. And then he said he eventually said that he might do it, but still hasn't happened. He did call in to Apraxia, which was some good Glue content. Has anybody said no? No, I think everybody that I've, besides Glue, I think everybody that I have asked has said yes. There's been, who eagerly said yes, but it still hasn't happened. I don't know if it will happen because I kind of just dropped the ball on it. Estoncon, or however you ever should say that.
In my head, it's always Estoncon.
Yeah.
I always say Eshchikon.
That's a good one too.
Before the first episode was even out, but the thread was started, I think somebody linked his Instagram, and I just hit him up because I don't really give a shit, and he just immediately fired off into like 26 message first reply. Just started talking about VLV and eagerly going off about how he would do it, and I was like, damn. All right. But I don't know, I got sidetracked and never followed up on that. And also some people were like, I was also kind of nervous that people would be like, dude, why the fuck why are you talking to that guy? Because I guess he was kind of an asshole back in the day.
Yeah, that's like the only like reason to have him on is because he used to like be a shithead on the internet. That's the draw, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if there's a time and place for that in 2023. I'm still figuring that out. So that may or may not happen. Nog, what are you doing, man? Did you buy that?
What are you doing?
I'm laying in bed actually. I Monday is my like final day off before the work week, so I typically am in bed at like 8 and usually like lights out by 9. So
damn,
I'll be going to bed real soon.
Keeping them early hours. You bought that Ivy record. Thanks for sending that to Servo, because Servo posted about it and then I bought it.
Yeah, my brother
I'm excited
actually
to get that Ivy record. The whole catalog is excellent. Love Ivy.
Cool band I'd never heard of that I get to check out now.
Yeah, my brother told me about the pre-order last night. I actually didn't even know about it. I was shocked that it made it like 4 or 5 days without me finding out. But
I'm also kind of surprised that like I had no idea it was getting pressed until you texted me. I would like to think I would have heard about it, but I didn't.
I don't follow like the kind of social media accounts that would mention it, so I figure it's weird because I mentioned it to a few people and everyone was like, whoa, when did this happen? And I was just like, oh, weird. Like I guess everyone's finding out late. Maybe it's a secret.
I saw that Brooklyn Vegan was selling a copy, or like selling the white version, and I didn't even know Brooklyn Vegan sold records. So
yeah, that's kind of a whole weird thing.
That's how far behind I am. That's probably been going on for years. Fucking yeah. Well, Nog, feel free to hang out or whatever, or interject or whatever you want. Servo, what's up with your username? How did you get that? Why'd you? Is it what's up with?
What's up with that? It's just like it's just the name I always used for everything on the internet when I was like a teenager.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with the Japanese band on Snuffy Smile or whatever.
No, Servo. There's a band. They were a British band. Yeah, they did have a split with Pair of the West on Snuffy Smile.
Yeah, I always thought that was the connection.
No, it was very early internet for me when you had to like pick a chat room handle. I think this might have even been pre AOL.
I remember those days.
I just landed on Servo. It was a Mystery Science Theater 3000 reference.
Oh yeah.
And then this very weird internet thing happened where I started posting on the local Iowa punk and hardcore board like a few months before I started actually going to shows. And I chose the username Servo on there too. And so I'd go to my first like handful of DIY shows and meet people I knew from posting on the internet with and be like, hi, my name's Neil. I post on the board as Servo. But people just called me Servo. No one ever called me my real name, Neil. Like, I didn't like try and make this a thing or anything. It just sort of happened to me. And now way more people in my life know me as Servo than Neil.
Yeah, it's funny because well, we might get into this in a little bit here, but me and you hung out once in Austin back in 2010 or 2011 when I first moved here. And I was thinking today before this interview, I was like, fuck, what was his name? I had to have got his real name when we hung out.
It's not something I try and keep a secret.
Yeah. You've given people the opportunity.
I could have sworn up until a few months ago, I could have sworn your name was actually George, but it's not.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, it's close. It's
close.
G. It's kind of close.
I believe the one evening we hung out was in January of 2011, if memory serves.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That would be 5 months after I moved to Austin. Yeah, and I had at that point I was really cutting it close on finances because I moved here with like $8,000 and I got an apartment and was just partying and like, you know, that money dissolves pretty quickly when you're not doing shit but spending money. And by the time you showed up, I was like, I remember, so we were hanging out with Johnny.
Yeah.
I don't think is around anymore on the board, but yeah, I remember you guys, I had some weed and you guys were smoked all my weed, man. No.
Classic Servo behavior.
Yeah. No, we were just hanging and smoking and listening to like records and shit. But I remember I couldn't smoke because I had a drug test because I was getting hired at Home Depot, which, wow, when I say it sounds like a fucking nightmare. And it was, but well, because I got hired at Home Depot and then also HEB at the same time and had them schedule me for 40 hours a week each. So I was working 80 hours a week. It was nuts. But anyways, that night was fun.
My one vivid memory of that night was the three of us going to Little Caesars, getting a shitty $5 hot and ready, and proceeding to sit on the curb outside of the Little Caesars and eat the pizza.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, I was like giving you the Austin experience, I guess.
That was that would have been like the first time I was ever in Texas in my life, I think.
Damn, really?
Was that before you came to visit me? Was that the same year you came to me?
I came to visit you 2 years in a row, and this was in the middle of those two visits, I want to say.
Okay.
I want to say we hung out really hard for that week in the fall of like 2010, the Acid with Servo week.
Okay. Yeah, that would what was that? Late September?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, September sounds right.
I feel like it was like right on the border because I feel like maybe the Colleen Green show was like the very end of September, like the beginning of October or something like that. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I definitely went to that show and hung out with y'all, so that's when it would have been. Funny story. One time, me and Nog here, we were on acid and we walked into a liquor store to get some Gatorade, and we saw David Arquette buying $400 worth of liquor.
Damn. No shit.
Yeah, they were filming
really sad.
Scream in town. They were filming like, what was that? Like Scream 4? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to drown it out.
Well, I think he was going through his divorce with co-star, what's her fucking name? Courtney Cox. Yeah, I think they were in the movie together and also divorcing.
I forgot they were married. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to come into my work like all the time during that whole ordeal. And then like...
Was this a restaurant?
Yeah, I used to work at this place called Fuck Deli. No, not really. But yeah, he was just like, they would come in like every single day and get food. It's like a celebrity hangout when there's celebrities in town. But actually, like when the movie wrapped, it was like one of the female, like the young females from that movie, it was like her 21st birthday, and they're all at the Heidelberg, and some bros were like, being bros and hitting on the actress, and it turned into, basically, it was one of those bars that they serve beer in boots, like glass boots.
Mm-hmm.
And David Arquette took a glass boot to a bro's, like frat bro's face, and this giant fucking fight broke out, and cops and everything.
Holy shit.
I guess it was the place to be that night. But yeah, I guess Arquette like threw down big time.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
Didn't know he had it in him.
I wish I was just on a podcast about Scream now.
That is actually the premise of Scream 4. I think it's the podcast one. And it's got like Rory Culkin, I think, like runs the podcast maybe.
Oh man. Yeah, so back to that night that we hung out.
Right.
I remember it continuing, but with my absence, because I was too stupid or like too intimidated or something so we went out to a bar, and I was like ready to get like drunk because I was a big drinker, and you were kind of like, I don't really drink. I remember you got like a tall can of something and just like sipped, like drank one, and then Guang Z from the board showed up that night, I think, at some point, and I remember he was drinking beers in his car with us and like listening to Slayer, which is really randomly stuck in my mind. And then he was like, yeah, like I'm going to a party at some apartment complex. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I'll follow you guys there. And like I could never figure out how to it was like Saturday night, jam-packed apartment complex. And I think I just gave up on like trying to find parking or something, and bailed. But I guess that's what you guys did later that night. Do you recollect that at all? Do you remember what
Not
happened
at all.
there? No,
I have no idea about this party or anything. But this
I might be
like me. I remember hanging out with you and Garrick. I remember Slayer. Now that you mention it.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if I was conflating two different like.
No,
VLV
I probably went to a party, and it was probably like so unnoteworthy that in the 12 years since I've completely lost all recollection of being at this party. There are a lot of parties that were not very good that I have no idea I was even at.
Sure. Yeah.
That might be why they weren't very good.
Yeah.
I showed up.
Very cool. Could be. When you were in town, also something funny on VLV happened that I remembered today. You must have hung out with Caliphate at some point, because I remember we hung out, and then like the next day or the day or two later, there was you started a thread that was like, me and Caliphate just saw Mad Holly in his car or some shit, and it was just a picture of me like driving to I don't know where, but just like zoomed in on me on the driver's seat.
No, I remember this now. Yeah, we did, just very coincidentally, like 2 days after we hung out, I saw you in your car, and just instead of trying to get your attention, just sneakily took a photo of you and posted it on the board.
Yeah. The really grainy like 2011 phone pic or something.
Oh yeah, did not have a smartphone back then.
That was cool. So the origins of VLV and you, like, when did you? So you said you were on like a regional hardcore board. Did somebody from that community tip you off to VLV, or like what was your intro to VLV? How'd you hear about it and all that?
Probably I would assume I heard about it through. I was on the very tail end of Skylab.
Yeah.
And I was someone from the Iowa board definitely told me about Skylab, and then from there, VLV. That's how I came to it. I think that's how a lot of the early posters came to it. Was just it got advertised on Skylab.
Yeah, right.
No, with Skylab's, everybody from Skylab knew to go to this new place.
Yeah.
Were you on Skylab, Nog?
Tail end of it. I came over more from Cross My Heart with a Knife.
Was Skylab like a merch store?
It was
Or
kind of
what?
like eBay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like DIY eBay.
Yeah, it was like
Word.
auctions, and
Yeah.
I feel like I worked on Level Playing Board. I was on Skylab for like a hot second, but I posted more on Cross My Heart with a Knife, and I feel like I came over because Matt Kills from there was like Ohio crew. So he knew James and Alice and Poppy and that whole scene, and he was like, "Yeah, come over." And I was just like, "Okay, cool, I'll check it out."
What was Schmoack all about? I get that mixed up with, and there's no reason for me to mix this up. It's ridiculous, but for some reason, when I hear about that place, I think of Lipstick Party. Is that the name? Was that the name of the emo dating site?
Makeout Club.
Makeout Club, yeah. Lipstick Party. I was just sort of close, but yeah. I don't know why. It just has like some sassy notation to it in my brain or something.
You should start a new emo dating site called Lipstick Party.
Yeah, I will.
I think that would go over very well.
I bet Coffee Eyes would be down.
Oh yeah,
he's so sex positive.
I know.
Yeah.
I gotta get him on here.
Is he ever gonna be? Are you gonna do a Coffee Eyes episode?
Yeah, maybe we'll see. I think he'll do it for sure.
That
Take
I would
a
sit
egg
down
up
and spend like
first.
8 hours of my life taking it in.
We'll do 8 hours. We'll do 2 parts, maybe. The intro to the opening of
Just
season
take a
2.
Viagra at the beginning of the interview and just do it until your boner goes away.
Oh no! Oh my god! Yeah, would have to be mine and not his. It wouldn't have to be timed against his. We would never get off the phone. Were you ever in a band, Servo, or did you just release bands and book shows?
Not any. I've been in bands with my friends and shit, but like not anything of note that ever really went anywhere or did anything.
Yeah.
Just never really was at the right time at the right place and with the right people sort of deal. But also like that never really appealed to me as much as it appeals to a lot of other people.
I can see.
What about you? You ever been in a band?
Me, yeah. I'm in one band now, but we're been sort of inactive for a little while. We play an odd show here and there. But my idea is kind of like yours. Like I never really sought it out or really cared about so much like that, but it just so happened that blah 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 blah, no one cares. I went off into some long-winded deal about the band that I'm in. Ugh. Never been a dude that was like, "What's up, dudes? Want to start a band?" Like get on Craigslist.
Yeah, trying to make other people do shit. Just like
yeah, they got all like
it's rough
for sure. So posters, in real life, you got 2 on the horn. Nog. I mean, Nog, are you from Iowa? How do you guys like originally know each other?
We know each other through VLV. How else?
Yeah.
How else would I know
anybody? Okay.
I'm from like suburbs of Detroit.
Okay.
But yeah, I know a lot of old posters. I feel like a lot of my generation's gone these days, or I don't get around as much anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like Servo is kind of like the last one I really met.
The old guard, old VLV.
Yeah.
Servo,
yeah.
Yeah.
There's one local guy I think I met after Servo, NA1990, which is this guy Nick who lives around here, but he's more of a lurker. He posts every once in a while.
Yeah. When I was gonna talk to you, Servo, I thought, man, you probably are the person on the board that knows more in real life Like
I
have
think
met
that's
people.
probably true. I think I have
Yeah.
probably met more VLVers in real life than any other VLVer.
Yeah.
I would assume that to be true. I definitely leaned on the board very heavily, doing a lot of traveling in my younger years, and a lot of folks let me crash on their couch or like wanted to hang out with me when I was coming to town. So I've probably met over 100 VLV posters.
Wow, that's incredible. So who are some peeps that stick out in your mind, or like people that you like still every now, like if they're in town or you that you would hang out with, or text or whatever?
Oh, none of them. They're all pretty much dead to me, but every once in a while. One of my favorites, the one I see most in real life, even though I haven't seen him in a minute because winter's been going on, is Andon, who I met right before I met you, because I was in Oklahoma during that trip I met you on.
Okay.
He lives in Richmond, Virginia, where I live now, so I've gotten dinner with him and his lovely wife a few times.
Oh, cool. So how long you been in Richmond?
Oh, just like a handful of months, probably like 3 months at this point.
Cool.
I just wanted to try and escape the Midwest winter. Feel like I just got hit really hard with a few winters in Iowa and was ready to be done with that for a while.
Yeah, I don't ever do that, so I can.
Oh, you should. It builds character.
Is that what they tell you?
Oh, it's true. It builds character.
Is Plan 9 Records still there?
Yeah, I went down to Plan 9 yesterday and bought myself that double LP of Life Won't Wait.
Oh, nice.
Bring it back to Rancid, because
I used to live in Richmond for like a summer, and I lived about 10 blocks from Plan 9, and I used to walk there every day, and I'd stop at Smoothie King and get like a 40-ounce smoothie, and then go to the
I had
record
Smoothie King
store.
for lunch.
Yeah, and then there was this God, what was it called? It was like this Chinese place with, I feel like Garden was in the name, and they had like a vegan Chinese buffet. We used to go there all the time. It was great. And if you went at like, they closed at 9, so if you went at like 8, you got the buffet, like everything. They would like put out like one last like refill everything, and like we went all the time. So they would often give us to-go containers, and we could just like fill up vegan food, Chinese food, and take it home.
Damn, that rules.
Yeah, I pretty much just ate there, Smoothie King, and what was I, like Chinello's Pizza? That was my shit back then.
Have you met John Rich Martin yet?
No, I haven't yet. I was supposed to go to a thing at Andon's over Thanksgiving, where he was also going to be in attendance, but then I got COVID for a second time and had to sit that one out.
Brutal.
Even I've met him.
Yeah, he's been on the show. Those two gentlemen did a double guest podcast. Richmond.
That's actually.
I feel bad I haven't like interacted with this media you're producing. Like that was the one I keep meaning to watch, but in my mind I'm like, well, I could just maybe hang out with them instead.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't even seen the whole thing. I watched like the first a little over 2 hours, maybe like the first 2:10, and I was just like, I'm going to bed. They haven't talked about me. I don't care.
Well, you got to listen to the podcast so you can talk about the things on the podcast with them, like rehash it with them in real life. But the podcast was already a rehashing of the board, what's happened already on the board. So it's like the third level of.
You're really just peeling back this onion.
Yeah. What are some of your earliest memories of VLV, or like VLV specific lore, or like legendary threads, just weird shit?
I think honestly, like the first thing that sticks out would be Nog and his brother here crashing the board by releasing a Code and Armada gospel split 10-inch. That was pretty early VLV.
Yeah, that was
And, like when that happened, like that was the first time I was like, wait, this message board is like weirdly a big deal, but it's like also like thinking like that was impressive somehow, that like you trying to sell 100 copies of a record just like broke the internet.
Is that what happens? Something like instantly sold out and people lost their shit?
It was a really weird. I mean, this was, neither of us had a bank account, I don't think, and we didn't have PayPal, and actually we didn't own a computer, so everything we did had to be done at like the MSU computer lab, and we had like his old roommate's login. So we came up with this idea to do 100 test press copies of the split, and at like midnight I was going to post an email address to email, and the first 100 people to email would be replied to with instructions of how they would send either cash or a postal money order to us. And then my brother like hand wrote messages on every split, like personalized messages to the user. Hardly Core is replying to me on Instagram.
Oh.
But yeah, anyways, it broke the board, long story short, and man, yeah, life's just gone downhill since then.
Riding the high of the 10-inch.
Yeah. My brother gave me his copy recently. Well, he gave it to me like a year ago to sell, and I forgot to. And then
is that a Bonzer now? Let's see.
It is, but it's difficult to track because the test press version actually isn't submitted on Discogs. The only version is the regular and the Mac Rock version, but Mac Rock versions have gone for like over 150. And yeah, I actually got an offer for $200 for his copy from that what's Limited to One Records New York guy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Okay,
no.
It's like a
sounds like a real loser if he wants to spend $200 on this record.
It's like a screamo curated record store in New York. And he just posts like, yeah, I think it's called.
How did I miss this? This is more shocking than me missing an Ivy pressing.
Yeah, no, it's just it shows up like in my feed every once in a while, and he always just posts like really ridiculous variants of like demos and test presses and stuff like that. And he contacted me wanting to get it, and then we just like, one of us didn't follow through, and I didn't really care. So it's actually boxed up and addressed to him, like sitting in my basement floor, and it'll probably sit in a box for like another year, and then I'll maybe try to sell it again. But I bet if I don't know, I'm too lazy to like upload it to Discogs to like make the new listing to sell it.
I hate doing that.
Yeah, and
it's so annoying.
I haven't been, ever since the like threat of the PayPal taxes thing, I haven't been accepting PayPal, as was B Limp knows, because he sent me some personalized checks in the mail.
Yeah, you got checked, Blimp?
Yeah. It's got like a really old address on them and shit. I had to dig them out of my dresser. But yeah.
Yeah, I stopped taking PayPal, so it was just cash or money order or checks.
Yeah, it's funny when you were talking about releasing that Code and Armada gospel split and how you had to order it. I was like, man, I just like did that 4 months with you. ago with you.
Yeah, I don't own a computer, but this is like my aunt's iPad that she left here once. And, I never use it because there's no headphone jack. This is actually the second time I've ever done a video chat. The first time was a Skype date during lockdown.
No, I never. I was telling Greg earlier before this thing started that I never do these video chats. I find them very daunting and confusing.
Yeah, I
gotta compliment your
bald
angle
spot.
here, though.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to
Oh,
find
yeah.
the bald spot.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
I wouldn't have noticed that if you had not pointed it out.
Yeah.
killer
no,
hairdo.
who do I
No,
have to
your
impress?
angle right now with these tattoos is like perfect.
I know. I'm trying to look.
It's so good. It's so
Yeah. Is this how you were on the date? Because
No, actually, I think most of the time I had the video pointing at my dog who was like laying on the floor. I was just like, oh,
Wow.
this will win her over.
I couldn't imagine like trying to video chat like one-to-one with someone like as a date. That's like
yeah, people
very-
still are into that, like as like an avenue of for a first meet, and I can't do it because it's way more awkward for me to do that than it is to just meet them in person.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather my thing I do is I match with them on Tinder, and then we become social media friends, and we never meet, and then we stay social media friends for the rest of our lives. That's the way to do it.
That's a move.
Yeah, that's good. You never know when you might call upon them, I guess. I probably just never talk to them ever again. But back to the PayPal thing real quick. So you're right to have been scared about that shit or whatever, because I'm dealing with some IRS shit now. I just got a letter in the mail out of the blue from tax year 2020 that's like, you didn't claim this income, and it's two separate 1099s from, I have two PayPal accounts, like a personal PayPal account where I sell like shit through Discogs or eBay or whatever, and then one that's attached to this label that I run. It was like 12,000 and 11,000 respectively. And in the tax year 2020, I was under the impression that if your 1099 was less than 20,000, that you didn't have to report it. And that's also what PayPal support will tell you. Like, I just talked to PayPal, and they were like, yeah, for those years, like, I can't even get in their tax document section, it doesn't even give me a 1099 option for 2020 because it wasn't $20,000 for each account. And I was asking them, I was like, but on the letter I got from the IRS, it said right there, 1099 this, 1099 that. So I asked the dude at PayPal, I was like, how, if you didn't issue a 1099 and you're saying that by the law, IRS law, that you weren't supposed to issue a 1099 to me or the IRS, like, why do I have this fucking letter from the IRS? And they were just like, I don't know. But yeah, I owe like $8,000. Technically, I don't, because I have to like fill out a 1040 and just, I have to like go back on my tax form and basically claim the income, but then write all the expenses and shit down. This is like it's a big fucking headache. So all that to say that it's cool that you're taking checks, because that shit sucks.
What are taxes?
Yeah. You have to work jobs to pay those, servo.
Yeah. Well, I've had friends that have like never paid taxes, and
Trump.
Yeah, and it's not really a big deal, but like I feel like it's getting sketchier in the world we live in, because like that was just some automatic ping that some computer got at the IRS. It wasn't like somebody was doodly checking in on my finances. They just got some like digital robotic alert or whatever, and then it sent me a letter. But it's like I don't know how new that is or whatever, but it just seems like they've probably got automated systems in place now where like just getting away with that shit is harder, I guess.
So is that actually rolling out this year? Has there been an official announcement since that? Like, I know it got like pushed back at the last 2 weeks of 2022. They were like, "Oh, never mind." And I was
The
20K
no
thing?
wrong with it.
I was
It's
so
it's all so
upset.
confusing.
I was just like, man, I could have made so much more money this year. I was
I
just like,
thought when I saw that news at first, when it was like, oh, forget about it, I immediately thought about you.
yeah. I honestly, I took like 3,000 records to the local record store this year, and just like, for the most part, was just like, yeah, I'll take a trade slip. And I was just like so broke all year, and had to like, I feel like in December alone, I had to spend like $8,000 to buy a new car and dental shit. And I was just like, man, I suffered this year, and I could have like been the king.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, for real. See, I didn't even know that law got pushed back. Like I just pretended to not know it was going to change, right? That was my plan. Just be
That's
like,
a great plan. That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
always like what I do with everything.
Yeah, I told the IRS, I was like, well, or I met with an accountant here in town that my friend uses, and I was like, yeah, like back in 2020, I don't think anything under 20K was supposed to be claimed, and they were just like, I've never heard of that before, and I was like, what? I don't know. It's all ridiculous. I tell you what, I'm not giving the IRS $8,000 You gotta be kidding me. I'll go to fucking Texas County Jail, baby.
I support that. Do you guys what?
Go ahead. I was gonna ask another question, but
Oh no, ask your question. I've already forgotten what I was gonna say.
what is the scariest / harmful / most damaging thing that you have ever experienced related to the punk DIY world?
What, like psychologically?
Yeah, I mean, it could be psychological or philosophical if you want to get, but it also could be like you got your finger broken at moshing at the Rancid show or some shit like that.
I think for me, the most damaging thing that's happened as a result of like punk rock is like the last couple big fests I've been to, like the Fest, etc. Just realizing that like so many people who like the same music I like are just objectively losers who have failed at life. And then like seeing some band I loved 15 years ago and like looking around the room and like being like, wait a minute, I'm also a loser who has objectively failed at life. God damn it.
Right on.
Yeah, no, I've never had any like green room type experiences. Nothing like I don't think anything scary has ever happened to me because of punk rock.
Did you go to the fest this year?
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. That's
No.
what I was wondering if you meant like you had this.
No,
thought,
time's doing this weird thing where like I don't realize it's a new year, and that's been going on since like 2018 probably. So in my mind, like I was just at the fest, even though it was like 6 fucking years ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the experience lasts.
You got anything scary ever happen to you, Nog? I'm gonna grab a soda. I'll see you guys in a minute.
All right.
No, nothing really scary. I mean, I feel like I got a couple concussions. There was once a time when I think we were in Milwaukee on tour, and our show, I can't remember if our show was just over or if it got shut down, but it was on Pierce Street, and we walked down to Mad Planet, I want to say it was called. And there was a Dillinger 4 Toys That Kill Fleshies show, and like the lead singer from the Fleshies got on my shoulders, and I was running around the pit with him on my shoulders, and the mic cord ran out, and oh man, you got pizza? Give me a slice.
Caesars.
But yeah, the mic cord ran out, so we both just fell. He fell like, I don't know, 7 feet, and I just fell to the ground. But we both got beat up pretty bad. I feel like that was my first concussion of the night, and then I had another incident also with piggyback riding like an hour later. And I woke up and there was just like, I was covered in blood. It was fun though. Milwaukee's, that's what makes Milwaukee famous right there. Probably
Yeah,
the drunkest,
the raging.
Yeah, I feel like Milwaukee and like Gainesville are just like those cities where, you just drink 2 days after you're supposed to stop. And
Yeah, for sure. I've had some black hole void nights in Gainesville, no doubt. Never been to Milwaukee, but I could see that.
yeah, no, I mean, it's just, I feel like the most dangerous and scary thing about punk for me is how much I drank because of it or during it. But yeah.
That's fucking real. I've seen like a lot of people in punk, just like a lot of my friends just started drinking themselves to death at this point.
Yeah.
And like,
no, it's
I always wonder if like they weren't involved with punk, where like you're supposed to party like that, if things would have worked out better for them.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Could also just be their inevitable end, no matter what music they listen to.
Yeah, I mean, drinking is so prevalent in all kinds of different subculture, like niche interest group or whatever. So I think if you're prone to it, I think you'll probably seek it out and have to battle it, regardless. I mean, of course, it's not always true, but
it's, it could be hereditary
man.
shit like that.
Yeah.
What about you?
Me?
You ever like stub your dick?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm trying to think. I definitely I remember one time, the first thing that comes to mind is probably 2013 or 2014, Chaos and Tejas. I think
it's Tejas. It's not Tejas. I just got that.
It's not contagious. Iron Age was supposed to play, or they did play, but there was like extra buzz around it because it was chaos. I think it was, I don't know if it was like a secret show or just like a surprise show or like extra build thing that just happened, and I had yet to see them, I think. And I was like super pumped. I had just gotten into Sleeping Eye, as a kind of a new Texan, still absorbing Texas hardcore and shit. So I was like ready to go off. And I was like, the first song broke into, and I just entered the pit immediately. But like within 2 seconds, some dude just bashed me like right in the nose, like really fucking hard, to where I was seeing stars and my eyes water, and you feel that like little burst inside, and you're like, oh boy, I'm about to start like gushing, right? So I panicked, ran into the bathroom, didn't know what to do, because I've had like maybe 2 nosebleeds in my entire life. I'm a really big softy. And I was in the stall, just bleeding profusely out of my nose, like gargling out of my mouth into the toilet, but like all over the toilet seat, like the back of the toilet, just like all over the floor. And I was like, fuck, it's like not stopping. Like I have no protocol on how to stop a nosebleed because I never dealt with it before. And the whole time, some dude's just banging on the stall door, like, hey man, it's an emergency, man. I really got to take a shit, man. Like, you got to open the door right fucking now. And I was like, dude, hold on. Like a minute goes by, and I like smear blood with like paper towels everywhere. And the dude opens the door, and he's just like, oh my God, dude. Like, and he's just like yelling at other people to come look, like, dude, look, how am I supposed to fucking take a shit now? He was like being really obnoxious, but I'm like calling attention to me, and I was like, dude, I don't fucking know, man. My nose is just spouting off. Like, give me a break. And so I walked out, and he just like was like cursing at me and shit. And I was more bummed out that the guy like hated me so much than like the whole nosebleed and everything, that I just like went out and sulked in the like the front of the venue with like my friends who like didn't give a shit about Iron Age or whatever, and I was just like, I guess that was it for me, you know. So I saw like 10 seconds of the band. That was one of them.
I guess that story kind of reminded me. There was some dude fest. I was watching He Who Corrupts, and then like somebody stage dived on me, and I lost like 5 seconds of my life. It's the only time I've ever like even for a moment lost any sort of consciousness. But like 5 seconds later, I'm like on the ground and like waking up, and hurt like crazy for the rest of the weekend. My neck did, and ever since then it's been real crunchy when I.
Oh fuck!
What year was it? Do you remember?
08?
Oh, okay. Damn, I didn't realize it was still going on then.
Yeah, it was a later dude fest. It was one of the last dude fests.
Did you go? How many did you go to? A bunch?
Probably went to like 3. That used to be like the annual VLV meetup.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
all
I
the
was-
dudes there.
I only went 1 year, but I remember actually before I even knew who you were, I feel like Derek the truck posted something along the lines like, if you need to find me, I'll be rolling dice with Servo, or I'll be, something like
I
that.
rolled a lot of dice with Derek Black from Dude Fest and Phoenix Bodies back in the day. Rolled a lot of dice with that man.
He's a great guy. I got to meet him. I mean, we hung out a lot. His band would play my brother and I's place a lot. Actually, I feel like before he ever played our house, I spent the night in his parents' bed with 2 guys and a girl. There was 4 of us in his parents' bed. They were, I think, in Florida. I think they might have like had a condo down there or something. They were gone, and it was like Midwest winter, snowing. But yeah, we all crashed at his parents' place and slept in their bed. It was great. Great guy. I miss him.
What kind of bands were playing Dude Fest?
Just kind of like all the hype bands at the time.
Yeah,
The style
the
of
harder
the time?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were screamo bands. There were like
I only
Yes.
went 1 year, but it was the year where it was, like Gospel, Phoenix Bodies, Menegwar, North Lincoln, The Fiction.
Word. Was this in Chicago or where was this?
Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, yeah.
America's largest landlocked city.
Whoa. Never knew that.
It's true.
Damn. What about some most fulfilling things?
Oh,
The positive
being,
shit.
like being on this podcast.
Oh man, it's all
Yeah.
come to a head.
Really fulfilling.
The apex of punk DIY.
I don't know, like friendships and a lifetime of memories.
Yeah, dude.
Come on. I'm on some good Plex shares because of punk rock.
Mm.
I don't know.
You're on the Korean Plex share? That's cool.
I'm lying. I don't even really know what Plex share is.
What's that thing I keep seeing on the front page when I lurk?
Yeah, you like quit VLV, but you still read it.
I mean, they wouldn't. I begged to get my account deleted, and they didn't. And now it's just like I'm kind of forced. I'm like, well, I can't keep crawling back, but I
Can't stop looking.
What's Chat GPT? What's that?
That's like this AI thing. It's like an
is
AI.
is that
do
what that?
you remember Smarter Child?
Yeah, I know Smarter Child.
Yeah, it's like if Smarter Child was like
we were friends.
kind of useful, but also like was kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Man, is that like the thing my boss was telling me about the other day about like some AI music thing? Then like Nick Cave was like, "This is stupid." Is that it?
I don't know. You can write songs with it. You can ask it, be like, "Hey, write a pop punk song about a message board with chords," and it'll like shoot out a song at you. It's fucking weird.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Would you put it out? Would you
I
sing it?
mean, I've only ever heard myself sing these songs, so I don't know if they're any good objectively.
Is it like where's that guy? Is he like Ukrainian that does all those pop punk covers? Who's that guy? Where's he
Dude,
from?
that guy died.
What? The
Are
dude
you
who
talking
did,
about like the
did-
guy whose Bandcamp is like 200 things?
and he did like Mr. T Experience cover album and like
Yeah, like Queers and Ramones
yeah.
Worship.
He
Yeah,
died.
that guy died like related to the Ukrainian conflict.
Fuck.
Yeah, right?
He was like the second coming of pop punk.
He was something all right. I'm going to open up Chat GPT or whatever on my phone and have it write a song about being on a podcast with you.
Right. The AI shit is really weird because, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it, but I think I've seen people use AI to make art. And now you have like people that aren't actually artists, but they know how to like, I guess, tell AI how to make what they consider as cool art.
Like Haley
So-
Joel Osment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. There's this new wave of like people that aren't actually creating things, but are just good at telling AI to create things. Pretty bonkers. Are you guys still in the record collecting game?
You know, it's weird. I've been collecting records more in the past year than I have been in probably any point since college. I've just been buying records like crazy. I don't know if it's like I don't realize I'm depressed and I'm just like trying to fix it with this, but
Yeah.
no. One thing I've been doing recently is so after college, I lived in Japan for like a year, and I realized that like a lot of record stores over there had all this like 90s major label shit that was worth like hundreds of dollars because it got pressed in such low numbers and then sent to Japan because they were the only ones buying vinyl in the mid 90s.
Uh-huh.
So I started like flipping stuff on eBay and whatnot, but I had a nice collection of like vinyl records from the 90s major label stuff, and eventually I sold most of it, and there weren't any represses available. But like in the past the past several months, I've like bought back represses of all the stuff I sold back then.
Sick.
I guess.
I mean, what's a major label 90s pumper that you rebought?
Like the Cranberries, No Need to Argue, Veruca Eight Arms to Fold You, Tragic Kingdom, you know, those Green Day records. What else? I just got a copy of the Cardigans' Life for the first time in probably like 12, 13 years. That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cardi, does that have the jam on it? The hit jam?
That does not have the big hit on it. The big hit was on the next record.
Okay. Well, you should probably bin it then.
It's the superior album. I'll stand by that. I know you. I see you every month in the collecting threads.
I've been buying a shitload.
You also have some personal problems that you're trying to fix by buying things on the internet.
Yeah,
We all
yeah.
recognize it's real.
Man,
Absolutely.
I can't believe I see what you post sometimes. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ! Like, what does he do for a living?
Oh,
Yeah, where you got like a real job or something over there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you? Some,
Are
like,
you not like
guy
relying
working
on
from
class
home,
action
just-
rebates for half your income?
Man, I don't know. I think I'm just in debt. So
Oh, that's cool too. You get one of them credit cards.
yeah,
Yeah, they take those on the internet now. It's great.
for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
just
I
a
literally
helper.
don't buy anything except records. Like I don't I don't have a significant other to spend I don't spend money in that area. I living in Austin, home, and I split house 3 ways, so my bills are kind of cheap. I don't know. It's like I have an okay job, but like I wouldn't say it's like upper, it's like mid tier. But yeah, that's like literally all I buy is fucking records. And yeah, I release a lot of records lately too, so and I lose money on all that shit. But like when I do sell some, I just like immediately like go buy 12 bluegrass, like 12 $600 worth of bluegrass records or some shit. But
we get some Tony Rice or something.
yeah, I got I
Church Street Blues or something? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I got Church Street Blues, I got Cold on the Shoulder, I got Manzanita, Tony Rice Unit. It's just like my addictive personality with what was once alcohol and like other shit. No, it's just
I'm the same, man.
Yeah, like once you get the hit from going down that rabbit hole, it's like, man, like I need to get every single Tony Rice record that rocks, and I'm not going to be happy until I do. But yeah, it's the same with Italo disco now. But that's Italo and reggae are like brutalizing me because they're super expensive and there's just a lot that I want. So like they're forcing me to have some kind of willpower, I guess. Okay, so people on the board posted a few things. Goth Brooks, I guess you know them in real life.
Yeah. Great sense of humor, that guy.
Yeah. He just posted simply Neil-O-Vision. I don't know what that means to you.
It's just my name with the word vision behind it, linked in with another vowel.
Oh, okay.
I think he's referring to this medium of entertainment here as Neil-O-Vision.
Oh, okay.
Tonight's episode is in glorious Neil-O-Vision.
Man, sometimes people set me up with these like really basic things that, like, for instance, when I asked for questions on the Olsen twins, Meat Crimes was just like, yeah, ask him how Dave Coulier's doing. And so I asked, like, I went in that. I'm so dumb that I went in that interview and like asked, and I was like, I didn't even put the Olsen twins thing together. And he was just like, I thought there was a funny story about like him meeting Dave Coulier in a bar in New York or something. Because I was like, that sounds like something that would happen to that guy. But
I've met Dave Coulier numerous times, but he lives here. I've actually played hockey on the same ice as him. Not against him, but we played hockey on the same ice at that point. Actually, his nephew used to live with my old drummer years ago in Grand Rapids, Chris Coulier.
Cool. Chris Coulier.
Yeah, these things happen.
Did you ever talk to Dave? Like,
no.
Wow.
I would have done the cut it out thing and he would have punched me.
Yeah.
The only time I think I've ever talked with a celebrity in real life, it ended with the quote, "You could just call me Lou. You don't have to keep calling me Lou Diamond Phillips."
You met LDP?
Yeah, at a bar in Des Moines, Iowa.
Cool.
Hey, he was in down doing a production of something.
Wow. What year was this? I'm surprised he was still around in the production biz.
What year was this? This would have been like maybe like 2008, 2009. VLV user Snake in Your Mouth was there with me at the time. We both brutally punished Lou Diamond Phillips.
Is that Joe?
Joe.
Okay,
I write the secret messages to in the package when he orders.
Yeah, no, he orders. Well, I feel like he orders from Numero. I always recognize his name. I'm like, I try to look at everyone's name because a lot of people I know order from Numero or Deus. And yeah, I always see his name and then Iowa, and I'm like, oh, this is Snake in Your Mouth.
Big Snake.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I like him. I've lived with him many times and stuff.
Was he in one of the like Solid Attitude-esque bands? Like
yeah, he was in like Nerve.
Okay, that's what it
The big
was.
one he
Yep.
was in with the Super Heinem brothers.
Yeah, they played Ann Arbor a few times, but I never went to those shows.
Alan asks, again, just no context. Everybody's really giving me the good content here, making me struggle. But Alan just says phase one. I don't know if there's something that you have to do with phase one or what. But
Yo, get phase one on the show.
what people have said this before, and like I was trying to find evidence. Like, so I started VLV in 2008, but I didn't really pay attention to like shenanigans really. But like what was this person's deal? Were they like just the OG wig master on VLV?
Yeah, they were pretty psychotic, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just like I think they were like the first board antagonist. I think phase one is like the classic VLV villain.
Oh, okay.
It was like it was like proto Dick Scraper, proto who's the other guy? Fuck.
It was me for a little bit, but
yeah, there was so much.
Estencon, and there was shower violence.
Phase one also had this like really creepy towards women side to him that like was just an awful vibe.
Yeah, there's a very little wave of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, very little wave. One thing that has stuck with me from the phase one era is the quote "yummy as fuck," which he said about like some young girl or something, and I just like that is entered into like I say that probably every day.
Wow.
No, the big phase one, my big phase one story is I never met him, but I had his address. And one time I went to his house and just took a picture of me standing in front of it. Didn't like ring the doorbell or anything. And then just like posted the picture of it on VLV. And he was so fucking mad at me. Like he definitely like threatened me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you know of anybody meeting that person in real life?
The Sioux Falls, South Dakota people knew him. Like Psychosis, Titus, he was one of the best posters ever. He
Miss Titus
knew. Yeah. He like posted a year ago under a new name and I got excited about it and then I forgot about it and then someone reminded me of it and I got excited about it.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Titus was like such a cool dude. Still is, I'm sure, but he knew phase one in real life. So he was kind of like our one slightly non-internet look into phase one's life. But even still, there was a lot of like weird conjecture and like lore. No one was ever like 100% certain of his real name. And there was one picture that might have been a picture of him, but maybe it wasn't him.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was just a dick on the internet, but like
see, I would love to try,
not in a fun way, you know, like
this
guy's like threatening me on the internet way.
John Rich Martin wants to know about the Botanical Center in Iowa where you book shows, because he said that place was magical.
Oh yeah, I guess I did actually meet John Richmond Martin a long time ago, back when I was a kid, going to shows and putting them on. All the DIY shows seemed to be at the Botanical Center just because they'd let you rent a room for like $50 and you could bring a PA and do a show and they didn't care as long as you didn't break anything. But like, yeah, it was just a giant botanical center. Like it's a giant geodesic dome full of plants.
Yeah.
Very visible off the interstate going through Des Moines. And there were a lot of amazing shows in just these little conference rooms. Like when I was in high school, like Converge played there. I saw Botch there. Like I feel like I saw like every screamo band there, and I set up some show there once, and I guess John Richmond Martin. I'm pretty sure it was him in this band called Marion Delgado. They just showed up at the show and were like, "Hey, we're this band. Can we play this show?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And
Cool.
yeah, years later, I realized like, oh, there was a VLV poster in that band who played that show.
It's funny
It
because
seems-
I saw Marion Delgado probably the same tour in Ohio, and then years later, the setup ended up playing our house a few times. So I met John a handful of times at the house, but yeah, Marion Delgado. I actually ran into that CD used recently in that really stupid, oversized, like plastic jewel case. I guess it's not really a jewel case. I don't know if you remember the Marion Delgado CD.
Oh yeah, kind of.
It was kind of like smaller than a Blu-ray container, but bigger than bigger than a jewel case, and it was like it was really annoying. It was like the first annoying CD to put in your collection because it couldn't fit.
You're like, I have one of these. What
Yeah,
the fuck?
you're like, oh, this doesn't fit in my slidey thing, and it doesn't fit in this shoebox. Like, this thing fucking sucks. It was a cool CD, but it was just, awkward.
Yeah. Fucking Botanical Center. I've never actually. That's a first for me hearing about punk shows going on in a place like that. But that's really cool. So,
Hello?
hello. Who's this?
Hey, who is this?
It's the VLV podcast. Who the hell are you?
Oh
I
my
like how your number-
fucking god.
I like how,
Hey
like,
man, first time caller, first time listener. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I haven't who's on right now?
We got Servo and we got Nog and we got Blimp.
No shit, fucking servo. Huh?
Who are you?
Hey, have you asked Servo about the time you almost got stabbed at the haunted basement yet?
I haven't.
Oh,
by you?
that's a good story.
That's a good story. What was that band that played that night and that the front woman of the band wrote about our fight on her blog?
Kingdom Kingdom X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to out you like this, but I think for the purpose of just flow, I've got to identify who you are.
Hey, be my guest. There's no secrets here.
All right. We got snake in your mouth on the line with us.
Oh,
His ears were
Okay.
burning.
What's going on? You're at
How's it
work?
going? Dude, I am at work, but like my coworker left, so like I can talk a little bit.
That's cool.
I can just say I'm on break or whatever.
What's the stabby story?
Huh?
We got in a big fight, and I cut some of his hair with scissors, and then he grabbed the scissors and was about to stab me.
Yeah. He cut my hair because I stole his car.
He kept
pretty
stealing
awesome.
my car one summer, and I didn't realize it for the longest time. He
Is that
just
that Monte Carlo?
taking my car in the middle of the night.
Yeah. It was awesome. Like bored as fuck, and like let's go dumpster dive bagels. Like we don't have a car, let's just steal Servo's car, right? And we did it for a while. He didn't even notice. But then like
I didn't. Just
Hey,
there was one night where you didn't park it where like someone parked where I had parked, and I noticed that. But like, if that hadn't happened, you would have gone on for longer.
Hey, I got it. Okay, would you have been that pissed about it if you weren't dating that one girl?
Yeah, I probably would have been that pissed about it.
You think so? Because she was like gonna kill me, which is
Yeah.
like really funny to think about. Like, I don't know. But I want to say, I'm sorry for stealing your car in 2007 without telling you.
Hey man, I appreciate that. It takes a big man. It takes
Yeah, man. I've been,
takes a real big
scared to
man
tell you for a
steal
while.
my car.
Yeah. What else you guys talking about, huh? What you talking about? You talk about anything funny so
I think
far?
we're talking about the internet mostly.
Man,
Yeah.
what do you guys say about it?
Used to be better.
Hey, I agree with that shit for real. It used to be like more fun,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Shit changes and you get used to it. And VLV doesn't change. That's pretty cool. Still that same old bullshit.
It's still the same.
What's the next subject, guys?
What do you got?
Yeah.
Huh?
What do you got?
I was hoping you could carry us to the end here, so no pressure. But
Oh, how long have you been talking for? You at the end of it or some shit?
nah.
This is hour 4.
No shit. You're fucking with me now. It's not hour 4.
4 of 8. 4 of 8.
Hey, I think okay. So here's the deal. Like, I get like secret orders or whatever from Numero Records, and like Nog packages my shit, and he'll leave me like secret notes about Servo like in the package, and like I'll pick up like whatever the fuck's in the package, and it'll like stay on the cardboard written inside like Servo did 9/11 or like some shit like that. It's mad. I appreciate that a lot. You know, it's a nice. You know, it's cool when you get the personal touch on your records. It makes you feel like a fucking human. You know, it's great.
Nog was just talking about how he recognized your name and address, or like, you know, from Iowa. So I'm glad that he had the right person, and he wasn't sending Servo did 9/11 notes to some random.
I mean, I write it in every order. It's just,
okay.
Some people actually know who Servo is.
Let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Keep doing it, you know. Although he did ruin the first one, man. He like, it was supposed to be like a secret gift, and then he like texted me about it because he found out about it.
Oh, I did.
That was a bit fucked up. You remember that? That was fucked. But,
I was gonna ask Servo about this 7-inch. Or sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But
oh yeah, I don't got shit to say, bud.
Okay. I was just trying to keep it moving, but dude, this is a long time ago. But you sent a 7-inch to Japan, and this seems like kind of like a mundane. It would be like maybe a mundane thing, but when I was looking at this thread, this person claimed that I forget what 7-inch it was, but this person claimed that there was a hole in it. But dude, I was looking at this shit and it looked like they held it up to a light. There was some debate in the thread that this dude just held it up to a light and it was just a glare. And I think that's what happened. Whatever happened with that shit? Because when I was looking at it, I was like, dude, you can't see through. Like if it was a hole, you could just see through the record.
I fucking barely remember that. I feel like I've had like just like a good handful of like nightmare stories about selling records that have like kind of eclipsed that one. But I want to say it was the Shotdown 7-inch on Lookout was the record this happened with. This is vaguely familiar now that you mentioned this, but like no clue.
But the like frat party 7-inch?
Yeah, this party is a frat house. The secret Screeching Weasel 7-inch.
Yeah.
Did you just refund
we
this, dude?
Yeah, we just
I feel like you got scammed.
Damn. Snake in Your Mouth loves Screeching Weasel. He should have been here for the Weasel talk earlier.
Damn, dude, that sounds fun. I gotta get the fuck out of here though. So, have a good night, everybody. I love you all.
All right,
dude. Thanks for calling.
Shout out Coffee Eyes. Bye.
Well, it was nice of him to call.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and just get into all these because, like, dude, a lot of your threads are just Punisher. The Shotdown 7-inch. That's what it was. But it seems like he just refunded this guy, but I think he got scammed because this picture is fucking bonkers. Now that I look at it.
I'm gonna have to check this all out.
When you get back online, go look at this picture. It's like it seems like something that, like, what was this post? This is 2010. Like it seems like plausible in 2010. You might be like, oh fuck, it does have a hole in it. But I feel like in 2023, it's just I don't know if I'm looking at an obvious Photoshop or not, but it looks like I am. It has these weird extra like glare.
This is the product of like VLV just being where I vented for like 15 years of my life. I feel like half the threads I've started are probably like petty to like moderate complaints about things.
Well, how about the solid eBay exchange with the Wyoming moron?
I kind of remember. I saw you were like, I took a look at the board before I hopped on. And I saw you were like busy bumping some of my old friends. That's not something I've thought about in years. I like actually did read that one, and it was pretty funny.
Yeah, and the biggest saga I feel like was the Offspring. And
that Offspring record.
I went and I tried to like refresh myself on the saga, but then was like, whoa, there's like way too much to this to even.
Such a long story. Like I never thought like selling a single record would produce such a fucking story, and it really gave us all this wonderful glimpse into the universe of just this absolutely insane person.
What is the? I mean, feel free to give us the long version, but you can also give us the short version.
The short version is this lady bought like a fucking $200 Offspring LP off me on eBay, and paid for it, and then I sent it to her, and then she was like, "This isn't a real first press." Like her issue was stated clearly in the auction description, and there were pictures in the auction of like what she would get pissed off about later, and it just turned into this battle between me and her where I was trying to convince her that, because I'm pretty sure still that the first press of this record had two jackets, and one, which was intended for cargo distribution, had the cargo label on it. But I think it was the same time as the other pressing, because this thing never got repressed like this. But she like freaked out because it had like a cargo label on it. And I ended up getting the record back. Someone on VLV then went and edited the Discogs to say that the version I had was like super rare and friends and family only. And then I ended up selling it for more money than like she wanted it for. And I think if you look to this day, the Discogs entry for that Offspring record talks about how copies with the cargo address and a lyric sheet were only given to the band's close friends and family. And it's like, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, why is that special to give to your?
No, that lady who bought it had this like insane website about like all her theories. She had all these theories, I remember, about like math and stuff, but it was just like
I thought you were gonna say about the Offspring press. Like
I took a deep dive into the like Offspring fandom through that woman. I mean, people can get obsessed with anything, but imagine choosing the Offspring to be what you're obsessed with. Like 311 is your favorite band? Okay, that I get. But the Offspring your favorite band? Like, you didn't even fucking try. You just heard like one song on the radio and we're like, yeah, this is it for me.
Any other Punisher stories that at the top of the heap?
They all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
I haven't really been selling. I also have taken a big step back from doing personal selling and flipping online this year, out of fear of taxes. So I don't have any recent Punisher stories.
Yeah. Man, I just took one for the team, I guess. I just went full bore, not giving a fuck. Now the old IRS knocking on the door.
You're a good cautionary tale. That's something I've always appreciated about you, is how you're a good cautionary tale.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll be that guy.
Well, guys,
It's past your bedtime.
I was supposed to go to bed an hour ago.
Well, I'm glad. Well,
thank you for being here. It's been wonderful.
Yeah, sorry to like just bust in and
No, I
crash your
think I've had a much better time with you here.
Yeah,
you should try and get down to Richmond sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Morgan is moving to Charleston. Like,
Oh, really? I haven't
Yeah.
seen Morgan. I love Morgan.
So yeah, he's moving. He mentioned he's moving to Virginia recently, and I was like, you know what, like, you have a better chance of me visiting you in Virginia than ever in California. And I have a good car, so I told him that like maybe later this summer I would go that way.
Dude, you should come this way. I got a bed.
Yeah, no, I would love to repay you for, I'd love to crash on your couch and, get my car.
I'll get us some psychedelics and see who from the cast of Scream I can get to be in town.
Yeah, I can get Drew Barrymore's agent's number again, and we can have a good time.
Yeah. Well, sweet dreams, Nog.
Yeah.
I didn't notice your accent until right now, and you said car, but be prepared for VLV to freak out about that, because John Rich Martin had a whole lot of good things to say, but everybody wanted to talk about how he pronounces his O's as in post. So, yeah. Anyways, thanks for calling, dude. Good talking to you. And this is what I wanted people to do, so all right, cool, man.
Wow, what a nice surprise.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome. Like, he said sorry for crashing, but that's exactly
that was way more entertaining than just you and me.
That's what some people were supposed to do.
It's all downhill from here.
I'm glad somebody did it. Yeah, it is, unfortunately. You rated VLV users' pets.
Oh, yeah, for a while I had a thread while I was traveling, and
I
would rate people's pets. I feel like this is like a bummer thread, because I feel like it was so long ago that invariably like all of these pets are dead now.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
And so now I've if you were to bump this thread, it would like probably bum a lot of people out. Like, oh man, I loved my cat. He died 5 years ago. Servo gave him a 3 out of 5. What the fuck? No, that thread was like just a product of traveling around and meeting a lot of VLVers. And
yeah. Any standout pets? Any VLVers have the coolest?
Andon had some good pets when I first stayed with Andon. He had a pig back in those days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like a farm style pig or like a pet pig?
No, it was definitely one of the suburban pigs.
Like a little one?
Like a mid-sized one, just like living in his backyard.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. You got any pets?
Yeah, I got 2 cats. Well, they're my roommate's cats, but I interact with them a lot and feed them sometimes. So I'm a pet leech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever think about getting a fish tank? I think it would really do wonders for that room.
Yeah, I could. Fish tanks are cool, but I always feel bad for the fish, because I'm like, I don't know.
Let me tell you something. I've been a vegetarian for over 25 years. Never once in my life have I felt bad for a fish.
All right. Well, then that's it. You just rid me of my guilt.
Yeah,
I'll take it. Yeah, I mean, I guess people are like, but they could, they have so much river or ocean or whatever that they could swim in. But I feel like if a fish, fish probably keeps to its general area, or like I'm some fucking biologist. I don't know, but
I believe the word you're looking for is ichthyologist.
Excuse me.
And no, fish are still a mystery. It's science. Science has no idea what fish do with their free time.
Well, keep it a mystery. Don't want to.
Yeah.
This is a thread you started, but it's got something that I want to get into. The Olsen twins brought up this, and when I talked to him, but so the thread was just said, Fef says, due to Wienermobile brawl, VLV is shutting down for good, which is like clickbait. Am I right? It's like, wow. But then you open the thread and it's Santa Dog, of course.
Yeah.
Olsen twins was talking about how those were he was trying to describe, I think, Santa Dog threads that Simonetti had started or whatever. But that one right there was probably the best example I found of a Santa dog thread.
I like how you've kind of become like this weird board historian almost.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
The board needs that, and I'm glad someone's filling that role. Yeah, Santa dog threads used to be huge. I assume your conversation with Dave was nothing but pure entertainment. That guy's...
It was cool. It was cool. You should listen to it. You've met Dave?
We met once, and it was like, oh man, this guy's really cool. I can't wait to see this guy again. And then we just like never crossed paths again.
Yeah.
No, but Dave's one of my favorite posters, probably.
Yeah. No, we talked about a lot of different shit. He's got some interesting stories for sure. I got the anal cunt story like on audio. I feel, which was really cool because
that story needs to be preserved.
Yeah, we got it in voice. But there was a lot of shit. I read that story a lot, and it's always been good, right?
I love just about any story about anal cunt. And I've heard, I'm like a connoisseur of anal cunt stories.
Yeah.
And Dave Olsen Twins has one of the top 5 anal cunt stories I've ever heard.
For sure. But he was like he was able to recollect a lot of like funny details that I don't think was ever in the written version, which was a great time for me. About like some of the like weird bodyguard type characters that were with the band, like sporting a gun and all this shit. Maybe my memory's bad, but yeah, it was cool. He's a good guy. But so yeah, he was like, I was asking him like what were some of his favorite threads, and he was like, dude, the Santa dog threads always cracked me up. But I was wondering if you had any insight on like the origins of Santa dog. And then, which sounds insane to ask somebody now that I say it out loud, but also, and Alan brought this up too, servo dog. Now, I don't know if there's any sort of connection or crossover between the two.
I think they kind of run parallel to each other a little bit.
Okay.
You could say, but no, there's not great connection. As far as the particular history of Santa dog, I couldn't tell you. I want to say that it was all something Simonetti did. He had the Santa dog account. That was him, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right,
but that probably came after like
what
Santa dog
era
was
was
thing,
this?
right?
Even like Santa dog, how long ago was that?
I would say like late aughts, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I feel like whenever I started becoming really active again in 2010, 2011, like it was already a cemented thing, you know? But then I honestly didn't realize that servo dog actually, is that your eyes cropped out?
No, that's like, well, there's the dog. There's the dog that looks like me enjoying a birthday cake where it's like, oh my God, that dog has Servo's eyes.
Okay, yeah.
That dog just has my eyes.
Okay.
But then there's also a famous Daniel Danger Photoshop where it's my face on that dog. And that one's really good. But no, that dog, its name was Riley, and it was having a good birthday. And it just like in that photo has my fucking eyes.
Yeah, it really does. I was confused because I was like, I couldn't remember if like what the case was. Yeah, if it just looked like you, or if somebody actually did an expert Photoshop job of your eyes set into the skull of that dog. I was like, what the fuck? All right, so hopefully Alan is pleased with the servo dog.
Is that are you saying Alan or Alan?
Alan plus that poster.
Yeah, are you Alan or Alan? There's like an Alan and an Alan, right? Are you saying ALAN or ALLEN?
Yeah, ALAN. I can't detect the difference in what you're saying.
Alan and Alan, you can't hear that?
Alan and Alan? Man. Oh my God. Yeah, ALAN plus. Who told me?
VLV user ALLEN, I believe also plus. I don't think he posts that much anymore.
I don't see it.
Once bought me and Pfeffy tattoos.
Oh, cool. What'd you get?
That was fun. What'd I get?
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember the Daniel Danger dogs?
I
VLV
don't.
user Daniel Danger once drew a dog going through a divorce, and then based off that drew a series of other dogs that people just started getting tattoos of. So I've got like a servo dog where it's like a dog that kind of has my hair, that's got like a little bong next to it with an empty bag of weed, and it's a dog who's like sad he's out of weed.
Sick.
Yeah,
You gotta post a
yeah.
picture.
I think Feffy got a like Henry Rollins dog.
This is a vaguely familiar for me, but you should post your servo dog tattoo in the thread for some visual accompaniment to our chat here.
All right, I'll try and remember to do that. I feel like there's a handful of VLVers, past and present, with Daniel Danger dog tattoos. It was a slightly a thing for a summer or something.
Cool. You said you've been to all 50 states. You said that some states that rule are Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire. And some states that suck are North Dakota, Connecticut, and Maryland.
You know, I said Maryland sucks.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so I'm giving you your opportunity now to reflect on those choices and update your suck and cool list.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, and it's funny Maryland's on there because I went to Annapolis for the first time ever this weekend, and it was a lot nicer than I thought it would be.
Cool. I've never been. I've only been to Baltimore, which is a pretty.
Dude, Baltimore's not great.
Yeah, no.
I feel like probably when I made this list, when did I post this? Do you have that information?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I'd probably only ever been to Baltimore.
Yeah, you were actually just completing, I think, your 50 states because you were going to Hawaii or something like that.
Oh yeah, I kind of got robbed of that. I was supposed to have like a 36-hour layover, and it turned into like an 8-hour layover because a flight got fucked up out of LA or something.
Ah, shit.
So I never really actually left the airport in Hawaii.
But
I've been there. I've been to Hawaii, indisputably.
Was there a cool airport?
No, it wasn't that great. Honolulu International, I've seen better. What's your favorite airport?
Oh, dude. Denver's kind of cool, but I honestly...
That's a fucking mid airport. It's like such a pedestrian answer.
Man, I try to get in and out of those things.
No one who likes the airport.
I mean, dude, that is legit. It's a legitimate question for some people, though. They'll love to tell you, I'm sure.
What is the deal with people in airports?
Did you ever? So you lived in China, or sorry, Japan, but said you were gonna live in China at one point. Did that ever happen?
Dude, I lived in. Yeah, I moved to China at one point. I tried to. Did it totally fucking sucked. Like everything about it was stupid. So I bailed after like a month.
Yeah. Was it just hard as fuck? Like,
no, it was just dumb. Like, everything was just dumb. Like, I mean, I moved. Okay, this is kind of on me. I moved to Beijing, and I was like, well, how bad can this pollution really be? And it turns out it can be really fucking bad, and your nose will bleed after you're outside for 10 minutes.
Holy shit.
The pollution's that bad.
Damn. I always thought pollution was just bullshit, honestly.
No, pollution, it turns out pollution and the environment, climate, these words, they mean something. They're connected to the real world. They're very real things. It's fucked up. No, I moved to China for a while. It was just stupid. Like I just wasn't having a good time.
Yeah. Japan. How long did you live in Japan? I guess that was much better.
Yeah, I lived in Japan for like a year. That was fucking tight.
Yeah. Obviously, you made a clean up on the records that you were.
Oh yeah, didn't have a job for 9 years, I would just like fly to Japan every other year and like spend a couple $1,000s on records and then ship them back over here and then sell them on eBay for like way more.
Yeah, I've always heard this about Japan being an excellent. Is that time for that is long gone past, or is that
I think sometime last year somebody told Japan about Discogs.
Okay.
Japan has figured out. No, honestly, like, I mean, I was only hitting like a small fragment of the country on my record shopping, but like, I could tell that I was taking out most of the valuable stuff.
Yeah.
Like, even like I'd go and then I'd go back like 18 months later, and there'd like be one or two new things that I could like tell that like all this stuff had just sat there like for so long, because like a lot of it would be like way marked down. Like I was getting these 90s major label LPs for like $3, $5,
Damn.
brand new, because they'd just been sitting on the shelf for like 15 years. Because like how many people in Japan want a copy of like $3 Billy all on vinyl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that many.
Yeah, I was wondering because like if it's still a good place to go score shit, because
I mean, it's a good place to score shit if you're into like Japanese music.
yeah. Or like, yeah. Or there's this dude who runs a label here in Austin. He just moved here from California, but he's Japanese, and he's always getting like people to go to Japan for him and buy shit. My roommate works at Endoveneer, and like the very like first time he met my roommate, within the first like meeting, he was just like, I'll pay you to go to Japan to buy records from me. So it's like Japan just has this mystique from my point of view. I've never been there, but yeah, for like buying records is like some like holy grail land where you can.
It definitely, I mean, it still is. It can be depending on what you're into, but yeah, back in the early 2000s, it was just insane the stuff you could get there, and like my knowledge expands to it's a very narrow spectrum, and I have no doubt that like while I was like in Japan pulling all these records, I was passing by other LPs I didn't know about that were worth like even more money in different genres.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'm just getting into all kinds of dumb shit now, like library music and all this, like, $500 an LP genre collecting bullshit that I'm sure was in the 90s and early 2000s were just
worthless.
Yeah, completely worthless. Yeah, it's crazy to think. This is kind of relevant because the open registration thread was bumped recently. But you said at one point that your first act of some sort of third in line to the throne would be to open registration. How do you feel about open registration?
I feel like no one can really accurately predict what would happen if registration was open. I feel like it could go so many ways. I feel like there's a chance you open registration and you get like 5 new users. And that's it. You open registration, the site gets flooded with bots that are much better these days.
Yeah.
I don't think that would happen. I think the board's code is like kind of unique to it at this point.
For sure.
It's definitely antiquated.
Yeah. I wonder I wonder like if a bunch of people would join or not. But at this point, I feel like if it was open, it would still be closed in the sense.
It's a very insular circle jerk these days.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. I got a couple things I want to ask still, but I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick. Give me
cool. I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay, cool.
Keep doing that. Yeah, this would be great. Are you going to edit this part out? Because I wouldn't.
Sorry, what?
I said, are you going to edit this out?
Oh, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't edit. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
Hey, all right.
Again. All right. So, dude, this Canadian Bandcamp shit.
Oh yeah, what a mystery. What's going on there?
I don't know. Have you gotten to the bottom of it yet?
There is no bottom. No, I noticed some. I love how like insular even this podcast is. Like, this is something that would require so much explanation to
Yeah.
anyone, but like anyone who would listen to this podcast just like inherently understands the very esoteric thing we're talking about. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever really know what's going on there. I mean, I considered emailing Bandcamp again since they have newer ownership, but like, I got the impression they don't care.
Yeah, the problem. I can see that.
It's the whole thing is like so, and it's been like what 2 years now since I made that thread.
Yeah, it's just never ending.
No,
I wonder if there's like some scam like mega artist boss that's just like some kingpin underground that's just controlling all this or what.
like it's like one guy and he's made $70.
Yeah.
You know,
but he's just thinking like one day he's
one
playing
day
the,
this is all gonna
playing the numbers of the Ponzi scheme. It's gonna add up one day, you know.
No, the whole thing is so weird, and like I don't know if I ever really posted about it, but I ended up like kind of interviewing a guy who ran a fake Bandcamp, but like a different kind of fake Bandcamp. He like just pretended to be like a subsidiary of a major label and was just like uploading major label artists to his own Bandcamp.
Wait a minute. How did you come across this guy?
I like found his fake Bandcamp while I was like, because like when I was doing all this fake Bandcamp detective work, it was like peak COVID and there wasn't fucking shit to do.
Yeah.
And so like I was just like probably on Bandcamp for like 3 or 4 hours a day at one point in my life, just like looking through things and like needle dropping like thousands of artists. Yeah, and I just found this other kind of fake Bandcamp, and I was like, maybe this guy knows what's going on. And I like talked to him, and he like talked to me for like, because like I thought it was closer connected to the fake Bandcamps than it turned out to be. And I offered this guy $100 if I could interview him, and like I interviewed him, and it like got me like nowhere. It's just like, okay, this is just like one guy doing this stupid little scam. And I was like, all right, man, I'm a man of my word. Like, I offered you $100. What's your PayPal? And he was like, I don't have PayPal. And I was like, how are you running a fake Bandcamp without a PayPal? That was literally my last message to him. How are you running a fake Bandcamp without a PayPal? And he never responded.
Oh my god, dude.
So weird.
You gotta track this guy down.
It's in my email.
I think that's the bigger mystery, dude. Who is this person, and how are they making? Yeah, they could even accept your $100, but fuck. Oh,
what's the deal with fake Bandcamps? I don't think we'll ever know what's going on with that,
man.
And there was I finally like come to some sort of peace with that, because there was a time when it was driving me crazy. Just how, because none of it makes any sense.
Yeah, it's too odd to be just like straight bots. Like it's like,
but there's also like definitely got to be some sort of bot aspect to the propagation of it.
For sure.
I don't know.
Like, but somebody's pulling some levers somewhere, you know?
Yeah, someone's behind it. I don't know. Someone had the idea, someone in the thread, like kind of early, was like, maybe this is a way to smuggle money out of Vietnam. And that is the thing, because a lot of the early ones, like a lot of them were like Vietnamese in name and even like had Vietnamese language on them.
Yeah.
And if you look it up, it's like difficult to get currency out of Vietnam.
Interesting.
And I think out of all the weird theories, like that's the one that like makes the slightest bit of sense to me compared to the others.
Yeah. There's some really bad money launderer out there.
But at the same time, I like also don't think there's really money flowing through these things.
Yeah. Some mob boss gave somebody a task to launder money, and this is the scheme they came up with, and they're like, they're gonna get murdered eventually because it's not producing.
I emailed so many of those band camps back in the day, like hoping that one of them would reply to me, and no one ever did.
Yeah. I had that similar experience, or just like a mysterious thing. I even pinged you about it on the board, but I still don't get it. And I can't remember if we solved this and then I just forgot that we solved this or what, but I don't know if you remember this. There was that country song that I heard playing in a restaurant with my sister.
Oh, yeah.
And we Shazammed it, and it gave us the name of this artist or whatever. But we couldn't find any evidence of this artist existing at all. But it had like the title of the song. The title of the song and everything was obviously correct because it said it in the fucking chorus a million times. We were just like, who the fuck is this fake country artist? But it turns out like people on the thread were like, oh, that's just this popular country song by this popular country guy. And I was like, oh, okay. But like that still doesn't, but like the version that we heard was not the same version. It was like a cover or something, I guess. But it was still like by a guy that didn't exist. And I don't understand how like the copyright like there would be like copyright infringement and shit on that. I don't know. That was a fucking weird one.
I don't know, man. If I could not exist for copyright purposes, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, for sure. It wouldn't be tracked down for this fucking podcast. Is there, I guess, let's see. I think Glue just made this up, honestly. He told me to give you a list of 3 random records for Servo's record roasters. Now, was that a part of like?
Oh, that was like. Yeah. I never called it that. I don't think.
That's why I thought that you made it up.
A couple of years ago, I bought a collection, or I was selling a collection for my friend, where like a lot of the records had minor water damage. So I was making these videos where I was like flipping through them and selling them on VLV, like just like talking shit on them. Do you kind of remember that, Fred?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Long ago.
Yeah,
I think that's what Glue means by Servo record roasters.
I didn't recollect as much shit talking, but I guess he got a kick out of that.
Yeah, I don't really remember it. I was just like really high and like talking about records and videos that I put on YouTube.
Yeah, but we're still gonna take his idea here.
Oh, okay.
To and put into practice and just say I literally grabbed 3 random records. Well, one of them is an obvious plant, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
But 2 of them are for real random, and you just say whatever you want to about them. And for the listeners, I'm holding up David Allen Coe, Texas Moon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that stuff's good, but have you heard Eisenwinter?
No, I haven't actually heard Eisenwinter.
I'm gonna be honest. This is controversial, but I'm really bummed out Das Pentagon in Flammen is no longer on YouTube because I listened to that thing probably 100 times.
It's funny, dude, because you called my plant. I actually have the first Eisenwinter 7-inch.
I think that makes you a terrible person or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to check with some people.
Okay.
The first Eisenwinter. I don't think I've heard that one.
Yeah, it's less Blink 182-ish than
none of their other songs. I was so disappointed when I checked out the rest of the catalog, and none of it sounded like Blink 182 with Carton singing, except that one song on VLV.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, this is actually pretty shitty.
Is that worth money?
It's probably worth like $100. I should probably get rid of it. But
I
that's
mean, who are you gonna sell it to, though?
I don't, all my white power friends around here, you know.
I mean, you live in the right spot, maybe. I don't know.
Bullshit.
What else? What else you got? I feel like
Well, you called, you spoiled the surprise by bringing up Eisenwinter, because that was the obvious plant. I randomly pulled this Red House Painters. This also now might make me a bad person.
song. Oh yeah, that guy did something bad, didn't he?
Yeah.
Red
Actually,
House
all
Painters.
three of these records are problematic, if technically. So
Yeah, David Allen Coe technically is problematic, it turns out. Oh man, Red House Painters. I feel like that was a band I tried to get into in college and just couldn't do it.
yeah. Well, yeah.
I feel like this would have gone a lot better if you had held up 3 screamo or pop punk records, and then I could have really roasted them.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I'm such an anticlimax here as a guest.
No, the Eisenwinter content is good, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, I was like, okay, I know I don't have any pop punk jammers or screamo records anymore. That was the problem. So I was just like, I don't know.
Are there any pop punk bands you like?
I thought you might like Red House Painters you could talk shit on it at least.
Was the guy's name Mark Kozlik?
Mark Kozlik, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was the one. I don't know if you remember this, but I heard so on Thursdays at the co-op radio station here is a pop punk segment, and I heard this song. I was like, "Damn, this shit rocks!" And I posted about it in the pop punk thread, and you were just like, I put that band's record out," and you're like, "Where did you hear that?" And I was like, "I don't know." I posted the link to the radio show and everything, but I forget the name of the band now.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how many little things from VLV I don't remember at all until you bring them up.
But yeah, man, I like a lot of or pop punk is something that like I like, but then I never like retain. Like that's a perfect example. Like I really like that song, and I was like, I should get this record, but then it just like evaporated. But if you want to give me like 5 records or 5 jams or something,
you're better off.
No, ruin my life, dude. Plus, I need music to play.
You don't need pop punk, man. You got Eisenwinter records over there. Better.
This is true. I need
Eisenwinter. I truly believe they are the screeching weasel of the Fourth Reich.
Oh man, that's a good Stormfront troll thread right there, I think.
I'm not going to acknowledge that I know what you're talking about at this point.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you saying there are other message boards? Because that concept is really upsetting to me.
Yeah, it's upsetting to the fans of this podcast too. So,
man, I hope this is the content they want. I hope I've really brought it for them tonight. I don't know. I'm no Olsen twins.
I mean, he's a hard act to follow, but you held your own, and everybody's different, and that's what's cool about this, I guess.
This is cool.
Do you have anything you want to ask me or any shit like that?
Yeah, let's turn the tables. What do you think about the situation in France right now?
Is there a situation in France?
Yeah.
You mean like how they dip French fries in mayonnaise?
That's kind of fucked up. I hate mayonnaise, but I love ranch. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm the same way, dude. Mayonnaise
is fucking gross.
It is, dude. And it's so commonly put on foods that are already rich, like a fat, greasy, well, you're a vegetarian, but like a greasy burger, for instance, I'm like, God, why do you need more like eggs and fat on it?
No, I got an Impossible Burger from somewhere the other day, and it was just like covered in mayo, and I was like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. You like mustard? Mustard rocks.
Mustard?
Yeah. No.
I mean, there's a whole spectrum of mustard.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy like the sweet mustards, like a good honey mustard. Love that. But like, I don't know, brown mustard.
Yeah, that's my shit. I like the spicy horseradishy kind.
Oh, horseradish is just terrible in and of itself. See, what we're doing right here, I am just like trying to picture someone listening to us talk about condiments and being like, yes, God, this is making my day so much better. Work's really flying by. Like, who is listening to this? Like, if you're listening to this at this point after like 2 hours, can you like make a point and post in the thread like, yes, I listened to this content, like just to prove.
This is
like 2 people.
This is always the endurance test where like I'm about to like say bye to the guest, but then we inevitably talk like
I'm getting out of here.
20 more minutes about bullshit.
I gotta go kill the Queen Valkyrie in 2018's God of War.
Oh God,
got places to be.
Oh shit, I don't want to hold you up, man.
Nah, man, this has been fun though. I appreciate you having me on. Sorry I couldn't give you 3.5 hours worth of content.
Dude, believe me, people are probably ready for a break. That's funny. You were talking about just like people. This podcast alone proves that people in 2023 will literally listen to anything as long as it's
like I was telling you earlier. Like I can't listen to a podcast. Like 2 people talking to each other would like drive me fucking crazy. Like I listen to records. I'm cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Imagine having to listen to yourself back 3 hours, you know, like every time I have to do that, like listen to myself talk, and the whole time I'm just wincing. Oh
no, I'm not. I mean, I'll tell you one thing I'm never gonna do is check out this episode of this podcast.
Sure.
Never gonna relive this.
Well, you'll just relive it through the comments.
All right. I'm gonna sign off. Actually, I've been Servo from the internet. If you don't know, I run a shitty pop punk label, bloatedcat.com. That's cat with a K. That's what I'm currently doing the podcast rounds promoting, I guess.
Dude,
my projects right now.
And there you have it, folks.
There we have it. All right, so I just click this button and this whole thing goes away.
It goes away forever, man.
Hey,
Thanks,
Greg,
dude.
thank you.
Yeah,
I had a fun night. I'm really glad we got Nog and Snake in Your Mouth in here.
Yeah, that was really cool, dude. Thanks for chatting.
All right, man. I'll see you on the internet, man.
See you there, dude.
Peace.
Later. All right. Well, there you have it. Servo. Special guest Nog. Call in Snake in Your Mouth. That's it. Season 2 is done, so Season 1. What am I talking about? Season 1 arbitrarily done. I'd like to thank everybody for commenting, calling in, being a guest. Kind words, bad words if you had any. I haven't really seen any, but I suppose there's some out there. Some bad thoughts, negative vibes. I appreciate those too. Feel free to share them if you got them. I don't know if there will be a season 2. Time will tell. We'll see. But I had a lot of fun getting to know some of y'all and doing this, regardless of what happens. And again, thanks to Apraxia for the title of the program, Barrick for the idea, Red Dwarf for our hosting and streaming capabilities and all that. Until I hear from you again, I'll see y'all on the board. Never log off. Stay jacked in. Good morning, honey. You're like an old friend. Come and see me again. Good morning, honey. You're like an old friend. Come and see me again.
We were far from home, but you know it's gonna be alright. Fortune can print up our vulture's eyes. 86 cents in the pockets of mine. And you can take my money, you can take my time, but you can't take my heart. It's in the city.